Daniel Bellinger, tight end for the New York Giants. You got to acquire as many of these tight ends as possible because you need the elite, right? The elite are the only true difference makers. They're the ones that give you the edge in Dynasty, and Daniel Bellinger could be just that. He's somebody who comes in, he has fantastic hands. You got to remember, this is a guy who only had 3 drops his entire college career. Fast, explosive. Somewhat curious how he's going to translate to the NFL because they did ask him to block a lot at San Diego State, but he's somebody who when we watched his tape, we really liked him coming out.
The glimpses, that you got in the passing game, we all liked. Yep.
So got drafted by the Giants in the 4th round, and he became a starter immediately. Opening day, was a starter, looked pretty good early. Brian Dable was talking him up, saying, "Hey, this is a guy has a knack getting open for us. He can find space. He's making key plays for us."
They hit him up at the end of round, and he scored a touchdown on that one. Even they're getting him involved in the running game.
And right here, what the biggest thing with tight ends, it's not just about you have an abundance of equals, is opportunity, right? Like, how do you get outside of that middle impact? It's just about being opportunity and targets. One of the greatest perks of joining the Nerd Herd is getting access to the Dynasty Nerds All 22 Film Library. You can save 15% off dynastynerds.com and get access to the film room using a promo code FILM15. And right now, it's hard to foresee where the Giants are going to go. But as of right now, there's not a lot of other things to really worry about on the Giants. They have Wan'Dale Robinson next year and Kenny Galladay. That's it. Because
Kenny Galladay's still going to be there.
I looked into it. So Sterling Shepard, Richie James, and Darius Slade are free agents. So I looked at Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay signed a 4-year, $72 million contract with the Giants with $17 million sign-in bonus. But their out isn't until 2024. They have like a 21. For 2023, Galladay is going to earn $13.2 million, a $4.5 million bonus. He has a cap hit of $21.4 million, a dead cap value of $14.7 million.
Chop post June 1st, that dude. Split that in 2 years and get rid of him. Man. No way.
Which is a possibility, which is what I would do. But I'm just saying, he has a hit, and they have no other receivers there. I would post June him and split up as well. So right now, he has an opportunity to be the guy there. Outside, they're probably going to sign somebody. They're
going to sign somebody, then they're probably going to draft somebody too.
Regardless if Kenny Galladay is there or not, he's not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking up targets. So let's
there's a chance Odell Beckham resigns there, who'd be an older receiver. They spent a second on Wan'Dale Robinson,
right.
But Bellinger looks like he had a really good rapport with Daniel Jones. They're probably going to sign Daniel Jones to a contract extension. He had a really good rookie year. Brian Dable is looking upon him with smiles. Opportunity comes to tight ends.
He was starting to really get the ball rolling, and then he broke the orbital bone in his face.
Yeah,
and had to miss a bunch of time. So, I mean, that was just like one of those freak things that somebody's hand ended up getting right inside of his mask and popping him, So, I think he played with a visor the rest of the season when he came back. But, it's hard to get the ball rolling again once the season, your team's been without you for 4 or 5, however many games that was, and they're trying to play for the playoffs. To his credit, though, he still did a little bit. He was still getting involved. It just wasn't probably to the extent that it was earlier in the season.
He was viable early as a starting tight end. I look for 2023 to put him towards the middle of the pack. And I like to buy these kind of guys now before they start to establish themselves. Mm-hmm. So, when I play Dynasty, I'm always figuring out, like, okay, what tight end has some opportunity to come up here? Because usually it's like this 3rd year breakout usually takes for tight ends. I mean, some of them, your Darren Waller, takes 8 years. But a lot of times it takes a couple of years for your tight ends to come into the league and start to get going. I love what Brian Dable does as a coach. I love what he does with his offense. Mm-hmm. We saw Dawson Knox get better and better a little bit every year out there in Buffalo. I look for the same thing for Daniel Bellinger. Do I think he's going to come out here and be a star elite tight end here in 2023? No, but I feel like his value is going to take a significant step up from where it is today. That orbital injury did kind of put a hamper on him. Same with Greg Dulcich. Like, Dulcich kind of took a hamper going on IR. I think he still will be more expensive than a guy like Daniel Bellinger, but he also has more weapons to work with. You would expect Russell Wilson to be way better in 23.
Right.
Jerry Jeudy had a fantastic year. Cortland Sutton as well. So I think Daniel Bellinger's in one of the prime spots right now that a tight end could be in with Daniel Jones going to his second year in Brian Dable's offense for him to come in and actually come and be a difference maker because Wan'Dale Robinson is a smaller receiver as well. So if you're looking for a red zone threat as well, Daniel Bellinger could be that guy. Dable has already experimented with them, used them in different ways. Like you said, that end around that went for a touchdown. I think he's a fantastic buy, and you could probably get him for a third round pick, even in tight end premium league. Because this 23 class where it's weak at receiver, there's going to be abundance of tight ends in this class as well. There's 2 projected tight ends to go in the first already, and there's probably another 2 to 3 that's going to go draft in the second round of the NFL draft. So there's going to be a good class there as well. I'm getting ahead of it. I'm trading for Daniel Bellinger. I would pay a third round pick for Daniel Bellinger, no problem whatsoever.
Love Bellinger. I would also pay that price. I think he's one that's worth the squeeze.
It'll probably take 2/3 in a premium league.
Oh, in a premium, yeah.
It might take a second.
Actually, in a tight end premium, it's going to take a second. In a regular league, it's going to take probably 2/3. I would pay 2/3 in a regular league. I would pay a second in a tight end premium league. I want to see where these other tight ends go, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where these rookies go anyways. Daniel Bellinger's going to his second year. It's all about opportunity. So I'm looking at opportunity here when it comes to that for Daniel Bellinger. So if there's a tight end that somebody falls in love with, they got drafted in the second round of the NFL draft, and they're at 2-8, he's sitting there, and I can get Daniel Bellinger because that person wants to draft him. I would much rather take Daniel Bellinger and take what I've already seen and what I expect to see in 23.